Chosen one. Stop for a moment and breathe. Heaven has pressed pause on the noise around you just so these words could find you tonight. You are not here by coincidence. This is divine appointment. Tonight, the angels have been assigned not to visit someone else, not to protect the crowd, but to stand guard over you. For you have endured nights where your soul trembled, and yet you rose again. You have walked through storms others would not have survived, but you are still standing because heaven has been watching you. Listen carefully, this is not another night. The air feels different because the realm of the Spirit is shifting. The heavens are leaning closer, and the Father has whispered your name. Something sacred is unfolding. The veil between the seen and unseen is thin tonight. There are moments in life where destiny does not knock, it enters, and this is one of those moments. You, chosen one, are the reason the angels have taken formation. Around you, unseen light has gathered. You are encircled by watchers of holiness, messengers of protection. Their wings do not flutter aimlessly. They stand where the Almighty commands. Even as you read these words, there is motion in the Spirit, assignments being handed down, barriers being lifted, shadows being scattered. Every wound, every betrayal, every tear has been counted. Nothing has been wasted. Heaven remembers what you thought no one saw. That silent cry you released when you felt abandoned, it reached the throne room. And tonight, the same God who heard it is responding. You are not forgotten. You are marked. This message is not about comfort alone, it's a summons. You are being called back into remembrance of who you are. You are never ordinary. You carry divine DNA royalty written in invisible ink upon your spirit. That is why storms sought you. That is why rejection found you, because the enemy recognized your anointing long before you did. But now heaven says, enough. The time of testing is giving way to the time of rising. The shaking you felt was not destruction, it was alignment. The breaking you endured was preparation for the building that begins tonight. Hear this, heaven's army stands in perfect stillness, awaiting the order to surround you. The Lord himself sends his angels to encamp around those who fear him, and they deliver. That's why no weapon has managed to destroy you. Every dart that was meant to pierce you became fuel for your faith. You are being repositioned. The wind of change is no longer coming, it is here. The shift that prophets spoke of is not an idea, it is an event. And you are standing in the middle of it. Every delay, every denial, every detour, they were divine choreography. The stage of your life is being reset for what heaven has planned next. Chosen one, lift your head. The light that once flickered inside you is about to blaze. You are the torchbearer in a generation drowning in confusion. Your obedience tonight will determine the atmosphere of tomorrow. Heaven moves when you move, because you carry divine permission. Do not fear what comes in the night, for heaven has already gone before you. Your dreams tonight will not be random, they will be messages. The angels are not coming to test you, they are coming to reassure you. Every shadow in your room will bow to their brightness. You will sleep under the wings of peace and rise under the banner of victory. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, the voice of God thundered in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. That is not poetry, it is prophecy. Alive and breathing in this very hour. The same angels who obeyed that command thousands of years ago are moving for you tonight. So do not let fear have the final word. Do not let doubt dim your light. There is a hush in the heavens now. Chosen one, every celestial being holds its breath as your destiny unfolds. You are stepping into the current of divine movement, and nothing can hinder you anymore. Even the stars above you shimmer with witness, recognizing the moment written before time began. You were always meant for this alignment, this revelation, this awakening of divine guardianship that now surrounds you completely. If your spirit bears witness, if you know these words are not coincidence, then pause and respond. Tap the heart. Share this message so it finds another chosen one lost in the noise. And subscribe so you never miss the divine timing again. Then, in the comments below, declare this prophetic number as your sign of faith. Type 777 for Heaven's Guard has been stationed over you tonight. The angels are on assignment. The night is no longer ordinary. The shift has already begun. The night deepens. Chosen one. Yet the fear that once clung to the edges of your heart begins to fade. There is a stillness in the air. Not empty, but sacred, filled with the movement of the unseen. The atmosphere around you hums with divine intention. And if you listen closely, you can almost feel the flutter of wings in the dark. The angels have taken their places. They are not symbols, not metaphors, but living flames of holiness, stationed with purpose around your soul. They have been assigned to watch, to guard, to stand, not because you are weak, but because your calling is fierce. The darkness knows your name, but heaven speaks it louder. This is why the angels stand close tonight, because the next chapter of your life carries too much weight to be left unguarded. Every destiny marked by fire attracts both attack and protection. The Father does not send his warriors where there is no value. Their presence is proof that you are carrying something heaven refuses to lose. You are not alone in your room, your car, your quiet space. The veil is thin, and the realm beyond sight has gathered its defense around you. The angels are ancient. They remember creation's first light. They have watched nations rise and fall. And yet tonight, their focus narrows to you, to this very moment. You are the assignment. The light within you is their mission. You may not hear them, but they communicate through peace, the peace that settles unexpectedly over your fear. You may not see them, but their shadow passes through the chaos, silencing what once screamed against you. The unseen world bows to divine order, and heaven's order tonight is your safety. The angels stand guard, not merely to defend, but to announce this one belongs to the kingdom. Do not mistake their silence for absence. Even when you feel abandoned, you are surrounded. Their formation does not falter when you doubt. Their obedience is to God, not your emotion. So even when your heart trembles, their swords remain drawn. Every whispered accusation from darkness meets a barrier of light before it can touch you. There is something sacred about the way heaven defends its chosen. It is not loud. It is not theatrical. It is precise, invisible, unstoppable. While the world sleeps, the watch of heaven never ends. Angels do not grow weary. Their vigilance is endless because your purpose is eternal. You are part of a story larger than you understand. And they are the sentinels, ensuring you reach your appointed moment. Some of the hardest battles you've faced were fought entirely beyond your sight. Those sudden moments where destruction was near but didn't reach you, those weren't coincidences. Those were interventions, times when your name was spoken in a higher court, and the verdict was protection. Times when the car swerved but didn't strike, when the illness came but didn't conquer, when despair whispered but hope still answered. Those were angelic fingerprints left on the edges of your story. The night of holy watchers isn't a fable, it is happening as you breathe. The angels are not coming, they are here, standing between what you fear and the promise you're becoming. You are surrounded by light dressed in silence, guarding your thoughts, your dreams, and your steps. The Father watches over His word to perform it. And tonight, His word is being performed through living beings of fire and obedience. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 3, verse 4, His brightness was like the light, rays flashed from His hand, and there He veiled His power. The angels reflect that same brightness, concealed yet radiant. Their presence hidden but their impact undeniable. The power that shields you does not always show itself in thunder. Sometimes it hums softly in the stillness of your night, glowing unseen around you. So rest, chosen one, rest without fear. The holy watchers do not slumber. While you close your eyes, they stand at the edges of your existence, encircling your soul with light. They war in silence, guarding the dream within you that has not yet taken form. You may feel small, but in the courts of heaven, your name carries authority. And when dawn comes, you will wake different. You will rise not as one who merely survived the night, but as one who has been kept, preserved, and renewed. Heaven's guards will withdraw quietly, their mission fulfilled until they are summoned again. But for now, in this sacred hour, rest under their shadow. You are surrounded by a strength older than time itself. You are safe in the presence of holy fire. You've carried more than anyone knows. Chosen one, the hidden weight has lived behind your smile, beneath your strength. In the quiet moments where no one was watching, people saw your light, but few recognized the cost of keeping it burning. You've walked through valleys that felt endless, yet you kept moving, kept praying, kept believing that somehow it all meant something. Tonight, heaven confirms it did. Every ache, every delay, every unanswered question has been part of a divine pattern. Nothing was wasted. The angels who guard you now do not see your suffering as weakness. They see it as evidence of endurance. You have fought battles others couldn't see, wars waged in silence, tears shed in secret. Yet here you are, still breathing, still carrying the flame. That flame has drawn heaven's attention, because resilience is the language of the chosen. The weight you've carried was never punishment, it was preparation. Heaven trusted you with heaviness because it knew you would not break under it. You were refined in seasons where everything else was being stripped away. You thought God was silent, but in truth, He was watching how you handled the quiet. You learned to pray without proof, to love without applause, to stand without support. Those lessons built the unshakable within you. The unseen world watches as you begin to understand that what tried to bury you was only planting you deeper into purpose. Every disappointment was a doorway disguised as delay. Every betrayal redirected you closer to divine positioning. You have been sculpted by resistance, molded by pain, sharpened by isolation. Heaven calls this shaping, not suffering. And now, in this moment, as the angels stand guard, the Father whispers to the heavens, "This one is ready. Ready not to escape the world, but to illuminate it. You have been trained in obscurity for impact in the open. You have been weeping in the night, so that when joy comes in the morning, you recognize its worth. The hidden weight you've been carrying was never a burden. It was evidence that heaven trusted you with divine assignments. The pain that broke others only bent you into prayer. The storms that drowned others taught you to breathe underwater. There is no ordinary reason why you are still standing. You were kept. You were chosen. You were preserved for purpose. Listen, now there is a holy exchange taking place. Heaven is trading your sorrow for strength, your anxiety for authority, your exhaustion for elevation. You do not even need to fight for it. It's already being transferred. The angels who stand around you are witnesses to the transaction. They are ensuring that every tear becomes seed. Every scar becomes testimony. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 30, verse 5. Weeping may last through the night, but joy comes with the morning. Those are not just poetic words, they are spiritual laws. You have wept through many nights, but joy is not on its way. It has already begun to rise. Even now, heaven breathes hope into your lungs again. Feel it, the lightness that begins to replace the weight. The pressure that once crushed you now propels you. The very things that wounded you have become the proof of divine endurance. You are not the same as you were before the storm. You are stronger, wiser, and more dangerous to darkness. The very pain that once silenced you now amplifies your anointing. So breathe, chosen one. The night is not meant to break you. It is meant to reveal what cannot be broken. You were never meant to carry the weight alone. Heaven carried it with you the entire time. The angels who stand guard tonight did not arrive because of your perfection. They came because of your persistence. You refused to quit. You refused to surrender your light. And now, as the shift continues, the heavens respond to your endurance. The ground beneath your feet begins to change. What once resisted, you now yields. The blessings that were delayed now accelerate. You have reached the threshold where pain transforms into purpose. Type I, rise now. These 3 words are not just a comment, they are a declaration. When you write them, you are prophetically aligning your voice with heaven's decree. You are announcing to the unseen realm that you will no longer bow to fear or fatigue. Every angel assigned to you hears that declaration as confirmation. You are stepping into the promise prepared for you. The hidden weight is lifting, not because life suddenly became easier, but because your spirit is stronger. You no longer need to prove your worth. Heaven already declared it. Let this be your moment of release. Tonight, every unseen watcher marks your faith. Every shadow retreats, and your soul stands taller in the light. You are not defined by what you carried, but by how you endured it. You are the evidence that heaven still redeems broken things. The angels remain close, their wings woven into the rhythm of your breath. And as the night stretches forward, you finally understand it was never about surviving the weight. It was about learning to rise while carrying it. The air shifts around you, subtle yet undeniable. What once felt stagnant now stirs with quiet energy. Like wind before rain, heaven is recalibrating the atmosphere of your life. Chosen one, you may not see it, but you can sense it. This is the unseen moment when everything begins to respond to divine order, when what was heavy starts to lift, when what was delayed begins to move, when what resisted you suddenly yields. The angels still stand guard, but their stance has changed. They are no longer in defense, they are in formation for release. The heavens are aligning resources, people, and opportunities that match the new frequency of your calling. The season of hidden struggle is giving way to visible acceleration. Heaven is not only protecting you, it is promoting you. A divine shift never arrives with fanfare, it enters quietly, often disguised as restlessness. You felt it, the unease that tells you something is ending, even when you can't explain what's beginning. That feeling is not confusion, it's confirmation. The old dimension of your life cannot contain the magnitude of what God is birthing next. The discomfort is heaven's invitation to move higher. Do not mistake silence for absence or stillness for stagnation. Heaven's movements often start in the invisible, long before they manifest in the visible. Like seeds buried in soil, divine change begins beneath the surface. And tonight, deep within your spirit, the first roots of your next chapter are breaking through. There is a rhythm in the supernatural, a pattern only the discerning can feel. When God shifts the atmosphere, He first stirs your awareness. Suddenly, what used to satisfy no longer fills you. What used to fit now feels too small. That isn't loss, it's expansion. You are outgrowing environments that can no longer sustain your destiny. Every angel around you feels the tremor of this transition. They move in synchronization with heaven's will, rearranging circumstances to match your new alignment. That person who left, that door that closed, that opportunity that faded, it was all part of the rearranging. You are being relocated spiritually before you are relocated physically. The shift begins in your perception, then manifests in your path. Heaven's frequency is not random. It hums in harmony with obedience. When you trust the process, even in confusion, you are tuning yourself to divine wavelength. That is when miracles begin to manifest, not because you forced them, but because you finally resonated with heaven's sound. Every yes you whisper in surrender sends ripples through the spirit realm. And in response, heaven moves. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. These are not mere words of comfort, they are blueprints. Heaven's architecture for your life is detailed, deliberate, and divine. Every detour you took was accounted for. Every mistake was measured. Nothing is wasted when you are chosen. You may have felt like you were standing still, but heaven has been in motion the entire time. While you waited, the angels built roads you could not see. While you wept, they gathered what would become your harvest. While you questioned your worth, heaven reaffirmed your name in its records of destiny. Nothing about your journey has been random. Every moment of delay was divine timing perfecting its course. The shift in the atmosphere is not only external, it is internal. Your heart is being recalibrated to recognize peace as direction. The noise that once clouded your mind is being silenced so that you can hear clearly again. The Holy Spirit is fine-tuning your sensitivity, teaching you to move when heaven moves and to rest when heaven rests. This is why isolation preceded elevation. God had to quiet the distractions before he could amplify your discernment. You were not being forgotten, you were being refined. The isolation trained you to rely not on noise, but on the whisper. And now, that whisper becomes your compass. You are stepping into a chapter where favor will not need to be chased, it will find you. The same God who hid you for a season is now revealing you for purpose. Your voice will carry differently, your presence will shift atmospheres, your prayers will pierce more deeply. That is the evidence of transformation. So, breathe. Chosen one. The shift is not something you must create, it's something you must allow. Let go of the need to understand every step. The divine flow will not be controlled, it must be trusted. Surrender is the gate through which the supernatural enters freely. The night is alive with motion, even in silence. Heaven is moving in patterns of mercy and precision. The angels remain near, ensuring that the shift is not interrupted, that every demonic interference is cancelled before it forms. The hand of God is writing again, and this time, the ink is indelible. You have reached the turning point. Chosen one. The reversal of delays has begun, not in the distant future, not in some abstract prophecy, but right now, the clock of heaven has struck in your favor. What once moved slowly begins to accelerate, and what once resisted you now clears the path ahead. Every obstacle that stood as a wall begins to crumble like dust under divine breath. You have waited long, endured deeply, and prayed silently through seasons that tested your endurance. Heaven took notice. Your tears were not lost. They became petitions written in the language of surrender. Each one was gathered, and tonight they are being poured back as answered prayers. The angels are carrying scrolls of fulfillment assignments long delayed, now released in sequence. The waiting room of your destiny is emptying. Files once marked pending are being stamped approved. The unseen hand that once restrained is now releasing. The divine timing that seemed so frustrating was actually forming you for this moment. Because, chosen one, blessings given too early become burdens, but blessings given in their season become wings. Heaven is flipping the pages of your story faster now. The pace of grace increases because your spirit is ready to walk at a new rhythm. Every closed door was a redirection. Every not yet was heaven's. Prepare yourself. You were never denied you were being aligned. Picture it like a mighty river, long obstructed by fallen trees and stones. For years, the current pressed against barriers, gathering pressure. Then, one night, the dam gives way. Suddenly, water that once crept forward rushes freely, cleansing everything in its path. That is what is happening in your life right now. The divine current of promise is breaking through every delay. Even time itself must bow to divine order. Every moment you thought was lost has been redeemed in heaven's economy. You will not just recover lost opportunities, you will receive multiplied compensation. There is no wasted suffering for the chosen, only restructured blessings waiting to manifest. The ancient words recorded in Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 22, declare, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." And the time is right. Chosen one, heaven's watchman has announced your hour. The angels that once guarded are now guiding. The waiting is over. You may still see nothing yet, but delay always breaks first in the spirit before it manifests in the natural. The signs are subtle, unexpected favor, sudden clarity, new connections that seem coincidental but are divinely arranged. These are heaven's fingerprints on the unfolding. Do not overlook the small beginnings. They are the first cracks in the wall that once contained you. There will be moments in the coming days when things simply click. Doors open without effort. Messages arrive at just the right time. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. Heaven's system of restoration operates with precision. You are stepping into synchronized miracles, timing that only God could coordinate. So walk lightly, breathe deeply, and stay open. The flow of grace is strongest where resistance ends. You are not meant to strive for what is already assigned. Rest your heart in trust, and let heaven's current carry you forward. And as you hear these words, let your spirit respond with gratitude. Gratitude is the magnet of acceleration. The more thankful you are for the small evidences of movement, the faster heaven multiplies them. Now, as this message reaches the ears of those who are meant to hear it, let it not end with you. Like the ripple from a single drop in still water, let your act of sharing carry the sound further. When you like, it's not about numbers, it's about resonance. When you share, it's as if you're lighting another torch in the darkness, helping another soul remember that delay does not mean denial. And when you subscribe, you're choosing to stay within this stream of divine messages, so that heaven can continue guiding you step by step. Let this not be a digital act, but a spiritual one. See yourself as a lighthouse, each tap, each share, each connection becoming another beam of light, reaching the shore of someone else's despair. You never know who is watching, who is waiting for confirmation that God hasn't forgotten them. Through you, the message travels farther than you think. Chosen one, tonight, the angels rejoice not only because your delay has ended, but because your testimony will soon begin. You will look back and realize that every pause was protection. Every silence was strategy. Every waiting season was mercy dressed as mystery. The shift is irreversible now. The reversal of delays has been decreed, and no force can cancel what heaven has released. Step forward in confidence, and watch how swiftly your life begins to bloom. The river is moving. All you must do is flow with it. Something awakens within you. Chosen one, it is not a noise of fear or confusion, but the quiet stirring of destiny reclaiming its breath. The night has changed, and so have you. The angels that once guarded silently now stand in awe as heaven's light begins to bloom from within your spirit. You have walked through shadowed paths and silent valleys, but tonight your purpose steps out from hiding. The time of dormancy is over. The warrior within you has been summoned. You were never meant to blend in with the background of life. You were meant to disrupt darkness by simply existing. You carry something unseen yet undeniable, a presence that shifts the air, a sound that resonates even when you do not speak. That is why the opposition was so fierce, why the warfare felt personal. Hell does not fight the ordinary, it only targets what carries divine fire. But now the balance turns. The angels who watched your struggle now prepare your stage. The light has found its warrior, and that warrior is you. There is a new frequency rising inside you, a courage not born of ego but of encounter. You have been refined by resistance, and now your glow terrifies what once intimidated you. The Spirit does not choose the perfect, He chooses the persistent. He does not look for polished crowns but for hearts willing to kneel before victory. You have been tempered like steel in the furnace of affliction, and what emerges is unbreakable. Every tear has become an anointing. Every scar has become a story. You are no longer surviving, you are ascending. Heaven speaks through the ancient words of Ephesians. Chapter 6, verse 10. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. This command is not about physical strength, it is spiritual armor. It means that your authority does not come from what you can do, but from who stands behind you. And behind you stands the infinite. Tonight, the angels stand shoulder to shoulder with your spirit. They wait for your declaration because heaven always partners with a willing voice. The power is already here, it only needs agreement. The moment you declare, I am ready, the realm of darkness loses its grip. The warrior is activated not by weapon, but by word. Can you feel it? That holy trembling in your chest is not fear, it's recognition. Your spirit knows that this is the hour you were prepared for. Every storm, every silence, every setback has been molding your endurance for this activation. The gates of destiny are opening, and the sound that unlocks them is your obedience. When heaven calls a warrior, it does not hand them a sword, it awakens their light. That light within you burns quietly at first, but once surrendered, it becomes a blaze. It exposes falsehoods. It ignites purpose. It heals others by its presence. You are not called to fight for attention. You are called to shine in truth. Do not fear your light, even when it makes others uncomfortable. The world has adjusted to darkness, but your illumination will cause an awakening. You were born to interrupt the patterns of despair, to challenge hopelessness simply by standing tall. Your voice carries the sound of heaven's defiance against defeat. The angels whisper your name through the corridors of eternity. For heaven rejoices every time another warrior rises. They have seen many fall, many surrender, but not you. You stood in the ashes and called it altar. You took the pieces of your pain and built an offering. That is why heaven moves for you tonight. So now, chosen one, let this be the seal of your awakening. The light has recognized its warrior. The shift is irreversible. Your feet are being set on paths prepared before your birth. Your hands are being strengthened for divine labor. You are being mantled with authority to speak peace where chaos reigns. If your heart confirms this, if you feel the stirring of purpose inside you, then make your declaration in faith. Type 444 below. This is not superstition, it is symbolic alignment. The number 444 represents divine foundation, angelic order, and the establishment of heaven's will in your life. When you write it, you are saying, I receive my assignment. I am ready to stand in my light. As you release it, know that the unseen responds. Angels move at the speed of obedience. The moment your words leave your lips or your fingertips, the atmosphere shifts. The barriers that held you back lose authority. Because heaven recognizes a warrior who has said yes. This is your awakening moment. You are not waiting for rescue anymore. You are stepping into responsibility. Your light is the answer to someone else's darkness. Your courage will unlock another person's healing. You are part of a chain reaction of redemption, a living echo of heaven's promise. Rise now. Beloved, the angels are not only guarding you, they are marching beside you. The fire you feel is not destruction, it is commissioning. Heaven has chosen its warrior, and that warrior carries your face. The night grows still again, but this stillness is different. It hums with revelation. The atmosphere around you has shifted into the language of heaven. Subtle, yet undeniable. The angels remain nearby, but they are no longer standing only as protectors. They are now translators of divine messages. They begin to move, not through words, but through signs, through symbols, sensations, and sacred knowing. The unseen realm begins to speak in ways your mind may not yet understand, but your spirit does. This is the language of the angels, the sacred communication that travels not through sound, but through resonance. Heaven does not always speak in thunder. Sometimes it speaks in the rhythm of your heartbeat. The Spirit often hides his voice within the ordinary, cloaking eternity in what seems like coincidence. Every sudden thought of comfort, every dream that feels like memory, every phrase that burns gently in your soul, these are not random. They are whispers from the eternal realm. You may not realize it, but you have been spoken to more times than you can count. The dreams you dismissed as imagination were blueprints, the repeating numbers, the melodies that visit your mind at the same hour, the sudden peace in moments of fear. These are all divine conversations. Angels are fluent in the language of subtlety. They are masters at weaving messages through moments. Heaven's vocabulary does not rely on human language. It speaks through timing, alignment, and intuition. When you suddenly feel drawn to pray, when your spirit stirs without reason, that is the angelic nudge guiding your steps. When you are delayed on your path yet later realize you were kept from harm, that delay was not inconvenience, it was intercession. Heaven spoke through timing. You are learning to listen differently now. The world around you has conditioned your ears to hear noise, but heaven trains your heart to hear meaning. The greatest revelations rarely come in shouts, they come in whispers, disguised as peace. The more you slow your pace, the more fluent you become in the divine language. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love him." This verse does not only speak of the afterlife, it describes the mystery of how heaven reveals truth now. What the natural eye cannot perceive, the spirit can discern. You are being trained to see beyond the visible. Angels often deliver messages through reflection. That sudden memory from years ago that surfaces out of nowhere, it might not be nostalgia, it might be instruction. That dream where you found yourself walking through light, it could be a reminder that your soul is still on the right path. The heavens speak through patterns, and when you recognize them, you begin to walk in divine rhythm. There are no accidents in the life of the chosen. Every moment has potential meaning. That stranger's kind word might have been prompted from above. That closed door that disappointed you might have been sealed to protect your purpose. Once you begin to look through the lens of faith, you will see that heaven's fingerprints are everywhere. To understand the language of the angels, you must move beyond fear of the unknown. The supernatural is not meant to terrify, it is meant to testify. God is not hiding from you, he is inviting you to hear him differently. He speaks through what you feel, through the way peace rests upon certain decisions, through the way your heart burns when you hear truth. Do not rush to interpret everything literally. Some messages are meant to unfold over time. Heaven's language is layered like prophecy. It reveals itself in stages. At the speed of your obedience, the more you trust, the clearer it becomes. And sometimes, silence itself is a message. There will be moments when heaven says nothing, and even that stillness speaks volumes. It says, wait, rest. The timing is sacred. The angels know the difference between silence, that means distance, and silence, that means instruction. Learn to feel the difference too. In this season, you will begin to notice divine repetition phrases you read multiple times, symbols that follow you, people who speak the same truth in different ways. These are confirmations, gentle nods from heaven that you are being guided precisely where you need to be. When you sleep, the language continues. Dreams are not mere stories, they are letters from God delivered through the ink of the night. The angels stand beside your bed, ensuring that what is spoken in heaven is received in your spirit. The more you honor your dreams, the more heaven will trust you with deeper revelation. And when you wake, that lingering feeling, the warmth, the clarity, the peace is evidence that communication took place. Heaven does not always send its messages with words, but with presence. Once you sense that presence, you will never mistake it again. The language of the angels is a dance between spirit and silence, a melody between your heart and heaven's breath. You are learning it now. Each day, your spirit grows more fluent, your discernment sharper, your connection clearer. So be still. Chosen one. Not every mystery demands an answer. Some are meant to draw you deeper into trust. Heaven is speaking constantly. The angels are still translating eternity into signs you can recognize. And you, beloved listener, are finally learning to hear. Midnight approaches, and the air trembles as if creation itself is holding its breath. This is the threshold of transformation, the moment between what was and what will be. The angels remain stationed, their wings drawn close, their faces toward the horizon of your destiny. The darkness is not silent tonight, it hums, restless, sensing its end. For when the fire of heaven descends, no shadow remains unchanged. You stand at the edge of something holy. Chosen one. The fire at the edge of midnight is not a physical flame, but a spiritual one. It is the purifying blaze that burns away what cannot cross into the dawn. This is not destruction, it is refinement. It consumes fear, pride, shame, and every remnant of the old you. It is heaven's way of ensuring that when the light comes, you can carry it without being crushed by its weight. You may feel the heat, already a pressure rising in your chest, a quickening in your spirit. Do not resist it. Fire does not come to harm the chosen, it comes to reveal what is eternal within them. The pain you feel is not punishment, it is purification. The flame removes everything that no longer serves your calling. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 38. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt offering, the wood, the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. That same holy fire falls again, not upon altars of stone, but upon the altars of surrendered hearts. You, chosen one, are that altar. Your offering is your obedience, your trust, your willingness to be changed. Fire has always been heaven's signature. It marked the bush that did not burn, the mountain that trembled, the temple that glowed with divine presence. And now, that same fire marks you. You are the living temple, and the flame within is proof of his indwelling. The angels know this fire well. They gather around it, not to extinguish it, but to protect it until it fully transforms you. At midnight, heaven tests what you are willing to release. The flame does not destroy without purpose. It burns away the counterfeit to reveal the authentic. Every insecurity, every false attachment, every voice that told you you can't, all of it is being set ablaze. The fire at the edge of midnight does not ask permission. It moves where surrender allows. In this moment, you are invited to let go, not gradually, but completely. Let go of identities built from pain. Let go of memories that replay shame. Let go of the weight you were never meant to carry. The fire demands full offering. For partial surrender delays full transformation. You cannot step into dawn while holding ashes from the past. Do not be afraid of the crackling within your soul. It is only the breaking of chains. The things that once defined you are melting away. And what remains is the truth of who you've always been, a child of the Most High, purified and radiant. The angels bow before such surrender because they know what few on earth understand, that holiness is not about perfection. It is about yielding completely to the fire of love. As you stand in the glow of this unseen flame, you may feel a release, a deep exhale, a weight leaving. That is the evidence of purification. Heaven does not leave its work unfinished. Once the flame begins, it continues until everything false is gone. Even the smallest ember of pride or fear cannot withstand its purity. The fire at the edge of midnight also carries revelation. As it burns, it illuminates what was hidden. You will begin to see with new clarity truths about yourself, about others, about what truly matters. You will understand why certain doors closed, why some seasons ended. The fire gives sight to those who endure it. Do not rush this hour. This is sacred time, the kind that reshapes destinies. You are standing in what few experience, the intersection of purification and promise. The darkness that once surrounded you now glows red with transformation. Even the night is learning from your surrender. When the dawn finally comes, you will not emerge carrying soot. You will rise carrying light. The ashes will not cling to you. They will serve as the soil from which new beginnings grow. Every flame that touched you will leave behind glory. The angels remain near, their wings reflecting the fire's glow. They watch as your spirit becomes luminous, their eyes filled with reverence. They understand that this is the moment heaven was preparing for all along the night, where fire meets faith, and the chosen emerge unshaken. Let the fire complete its work. Let the purging finish its purpose. When it does, you will not only survive the night, you will define it. The night is not silent anymore. Chosen one. Something in the air shifts again, an invisible clash, a trembling between two realms. You have passed through the fire, but the war is not over yet. The enemy, sensing his defeat, makes one last desperate attempt to reclaim what he has lost. But heaven is already prepared. The angels who guarded and purified you now take new formation, not as watchers, but as warriors. This is the moment between the whisper and the war. The whisper is heaven's voice, calm yet commanding, reminding you that peace is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of divine authority. The war, however, is the enemy's final resistance, his attempt to sow confusion where clarity has begun. Yet the whisper always wins, because truth travels further than noise. You are being called to stand firm, not with fear, but with quiet strength. The angels surround you with a stillness that terrifies darkness, for the enemy thrives on chaos. But heaven's strategy is peace. The Spirit spoke through the writings of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every tongue rising against you in judgment, you shall condemn the servant's heritage. These are not mere words, they are decrees sealed in eternity. Every weapon may be forged, but it will fail. Every accusation may rise, but it will fall. The whisper of God outlasts every roar of the enemy. The enemy's voice comes in disguise. It whispers doubt wrapped in logic, fear disguised as caution, exhaustion masquerading as reason. But the whisper of God comes differently. It carries peace, even when it asks for courage. You will know the difference because heaven's whisper never demands, it invites. It does not condemn, it confirms. As this unseen battle unfolds, the angels' movements become invisible waves of light, pressing back every shadow that seeks to return. You may feel tension in your chest, the sudden memory of old fears, but do not mistake them for your present state. They are echoes of old wars, trying to remind you of who you used to be. The whisper interrupts them with truth. You are no longer who you were. You are who God says you are. You are the storm's stillness, the calm in the chaos, the sanctuary where heaven meets earth. Even now, while the unseen rages, the light within you burns steady. You are no longer reacting, you are reigning, and the angels draw their strength from your peace. For peace is the sign of authority. Every lie that once shouted now fades into silence. Every fear that once commanded now kneels. The enemy recognizes defeat not by what you say, but by how you refuse to bow. When you stand in trust, you echo heaven's authority. The war will try to pull you into noise, to distract you with small battles, to drain your energy with emotional warfare. But the whisper invites you into quiet victory. It says, rest, for the victory is already secured. It reminds you that your stillness is not surrender, it is alignment with divine power. Remember the moments when you almost gave up, when you thought the silence meant God had left. Those were not moments of abandonment, they were lessons in discernment. You were learning to hear the whisper beneath the chaos, to recognize the soft command amidst the roar. You have graduated from reacting to responding, from fighting to flowing. That is growth. That is dominion. And now, as the spiritual clash nears its end, something holy rises from within you, a confidence untouched by circumstance. You realize that this war was never about your destruction, it was about your revelation. Heaven allowed the shaking so that your roots could deepen. The battle was a classroom, and now you know the voice that speaks truth even in thunder. The angels begin to sing not with words, but with frequency. It is a sound that travels through your soul like light through glass. It reminds you that peace is not fragile, it is forged. It cannot be stolen because it does not depend on the world. It depends on the one who commands it. You stand between whisper and war, yet neither overwhelms you. You have become fluent in both the calm of trust and the fire of courage. You are no longer a spectator in your story. You are a commander under divine authority. If your heart bears witness to this truth, seal it now. Type peace stands firm. These 3 words are your declaration. You are not agreeing to avoid the fight, you are agreeing to win differently. When you write them, You are joining heaven's rhythm, aligning with the whisper that silences wars before they begin. The angels take note of that declaration. It becomes a signature of faith in the spiritual realm, a signal that you understand your position. The war is fading. The whisper remains, and the light continues to expand. After the fire, after the whisper, after the war, there comes a silence unlike any you have ever known. It is not the silence of emptiness, but of divine order being restored. Heaven has entered the room, not to fight, but to establish peace. The angels have lowered their swords and folded their wings. You, chosen one, stand in the stillness that follows victory. This is heaven's strategy of stillness. The world tells you to rush, to grasp, to chase, but heaven works in rhythms, not in panic. Stillness is not idleness, it is divine precision. When God says, "Be still," He is not telling you to do nothing. He is commanding everything around you to align. In stillness, mountains move without noise, and oceans obey without waves. You may not realize it, but heaven does its greatest work in quiet. Seeds do not sprout under thunder, they grow in buried silence. Stars do not shout their birth, they appear in the dark. When God pauses your path, it is not delay, it is preparation. You are being hidden for holy reasons, sheltered beneath divine timing until the exact moment when revelation meets readiness. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 4, verse 39, he got up, rebuked the wind and said, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down and it was completely calm. That same authority now rests upon you. You are not just the one rescued from the storm, you are the one now trusted to speak peace into it. Stillness is not weakness, it is warfare done from a higher altitude. You have learned that movement without clarity leads to exhaustion. But when you rest in divine rhythm, your next step becomes unstoppable. The angels stand close, ensuring that nothing disturbs your peace while heaven reorders your atmosphere. It is in stillness that heaven rewrites your instructions. The noise of battle fades, and new directions begin to rise like dawn over your soul. You will notice it soon, the gentle pull toward purpose, the nudge to call someone, the sudden sense of when to move. That is how heaven speaks after victory, not through thunder, but through flow. You are learning the sacred art of waiting without worry. It is like a garden after the rain, the ground looks still. Yet underneath, roots are drinking deeply. Your spirit is absorbing everything heaven poured out in the last season. If you move too quickly, you risk uprooting what was meant to grow in stillness. So breathe. You are not behind schedule. You are exactly on time. The angels have ensured that every opportunity meant for you remains reserved. Nothing truly yours can pass you by. You are not chasing blessings anymore. You are aligning with them. Think of your life as a canvas. Every pause is a brushstroke of divine intention. God paints not in haste, but with patience. Sometimes He waits for one color to dry before adding another, knowing that rushing would blur the image. The silence you feel is not absence, it is artistry. In this quiet hour, heaven whispers lessons that words cannot capture. You are learning that peace is not found in the absence of storms, but in the awareness of who commands them. You are being trained to carry calm into chaotic spaces, to be the one who speaks peace and watches the waves obey. And as you receive this revelation, let your gratitude rise. Gratitude is the sound that fills heaven's silence. It says, "Even when I cannot see movement, I trust that heaven is working." Gratitude becomes incense in the unseen realm, drawing angels close and keeping darkness far. If these words reach your spirit, if they remind you of the beauty in stillness, let them continue beyond this moment. A message like this does not belong to one heart alone. It belongs to the collective of those awakening to divine rhythm. So, when you like, you acknowledge resonance. When you share, you become a messenger of calm, a ripple spreading across stormy waters. And when you subscribe, you are choosing to remain within the stream of divine reflection, ensuring you do not drift away from the voice that brings peace. Do not see it as a digital act, but as a symbolic one, a way of saying, "I anchor myself in peace." Each small act carries spiritual weight, reminding heaven that you have learned not to chase, but to flow. Chosen one. This is the sacred aftermath, the moment when heaven rests and lets its work speak for itself. You will notice miracles unfolding quietly now, conversations that bring clarity, doors that open softly, ideas that come gently but carry power. This is how heaven moves after victory in stillness, with elegance, with certainty. Rest, for the wind has obeyed. You have survived the storm, and now you are entrusted with calm. Heaven's stillness surrounds you like soft light, and in that light, you are free. The night lingers, but it no longer feels heavy. The air is gentler now, carrying the faint fragrance of renewal. You walk through it like one who remembers what it felt like to crawl humbled, healed, and newly aware of grace. Heaven has shifted again, but this time not in fire or thunder. It moves quietly within you. You begin to realize that something precious, something royal, has always rested upon you. You just forgot it was there. This is the moment of remembrance. The angels who once guarded, who once fought, now stand as witnesses while revelation unfolds. They do not move, for they know what is happening within you is sacred. You are remembering the crown you forgot you carried. For so long, you have walked bowed by burdens that never belonged to you. The weight of opinions, the expectations of others, the echoes of shame, all of it pressed you downward until you mistook survival for humility. But heaven never intended for you to live hunched beneath the lies of the world. You were designed to walk upright, clothed in divine dignity. You are royalty, chosen one, not by title, but by birthright. Heaven's mark was placed upon you before you ever breathed. You are not striving for favor. You were born from it. The crown you wear is not made of gold or gems. It is made of purpose and endurance. It shines with every act of obedience, every unseen prayer, every quiet moment you chose faith over fear. You lost sight of it because life taught you to hide your shine. You were told to dim your light, to make others comfortable, to pretend you were ordinary. But the extraordinary cannot disguise itself forever. The time of hiding has passed. Heaven is reminding you of your true posture, head lifted, heart aligned, spirit anchored in divine confidence. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 8, verse 5, "You have made them a little lower than the angels and crowned them with glory and honor." That verse was written about humanity, about you. The very creation that once fell was still crowned. The glory you lost in confusion is being restored in revelation. The angels watch as you reach for that crown again, not to boast, but to remember. You lift it from the dust where it fell when life grew too heavy. And as you do, the light shifts around you. The air trembles with recognition. The heavens rejoice not because you found something new, but because you finally remembered what was never gone. The crown does not make you proud, it makes you purposeful. It reminds you that authority is not about control, but about service. You are crowned not to rule over others, but to rule over fear, over doubt, over every inner storm that once dictated your peace. That is true dominion, the mastery of your own spirit under the guidance of God. This crown also carries memory. Every gem represents a moment you refused to quit. Every gleam marks a trial survived. Every golden curve whispers of grace that never left you. The angels see it, and they bow, not to you, but to the glory that flows through you. They recognize royal light because they come from its source. Now that you remember your crown, the way you walk will change. You will speak differently, not louder, but clearer. You will love differently, not out of need, but out of overflow. You will stop chasing validation because you have rediscovered the divine affirmation that has always been yours. Even the world around you will begin to respond. Creation recognizes royalty. Doors will open more easily, not because you force them, but because your presence announces divine authority. You carry the fragrance of heaven's confidence, and wherever you go, the atmosphere bends toward alignment. But remember, chosen one, a crown does not exempt you from humility. True kings and queens know how to kneel. The higher the crown, the deeper the worship. Never forget that your authority flows from surrender. The angels wear no crowns, yet they bow continually before the throne. This is the balance of heaven, majesty, wrapped in humility. So lift your head again. Let the weight of shame fall away. Let every false label burn in the fire of truth. You are not broken beyond use. You are restored beyond recognition. The crown has been waiting for you, and tonight it fits again. As you take your next step, do so with quiet reverence. You are walking not as a survivor, but as one re-anointed. The night bows before your light, and the angels resume their silent watch, knowing that remembrance has completed its work. You are crowned once more, not because heaven changed, but because you finally believed what heaven always said was true. Something sacred is drawing closer. Chosen one, the air feels heavier with presence, and time itself seems to slow. The night is no longer just a canvas of stars, it has become a stage for divine visitation. You can sense it, can't you? That quiet stirring, that almost tangible awareness that something holy is standing just beyond what your eyes can see. Tonight, heaven sends a messenger to your threshold. The angel at your door has arrived. Angels do not always announce themselves with flashes of light or the sound of trumpets. Sometimes they come as peace that settles the chaos in your heart. Sometimes they come through the voice of a stranger who says exactly what you needed to hear. Sometimes they come through dreams that carry instruction or comfort. However heaven chooses to appear, know this, it is intentional. And it is for you. The angel at your door has not come to frighten you, but to confirm what your spirit already knows. You are entering a new chapter that cannot begin without divine covering. Heaven never sends a messenger without a mission. This one carries a decree, a written command from the throne concerning your protection, your home, and your purpose. The atmosphere shifts as the angel approaches. Your environment begins to mirror heaven's order. The confusion that once lingered starts to fade. Old fears retreat. Even your thoughts begin to align. Like stars returning to formation, the presence of a holy messenger reorders reality itself. The angel's nearness is both shield and signal, a sign that your next step is divinely guarded. It is written in the book of Hebrews, chapter 1, verse 14, "Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? This is the truth unfolding around you now. Heaven has dispatched its messengers because you are marked for inheritance. You are standing at the doorway of something you did not earn, but were always destined to receive. Every spiritual attack you endured was not random, it was a reaction. Darkness always stirs violently before light steps through the door. That's why the pressure increased lately. Why everything seemed to resist your peace. The enemy knew something was approaching, but could not stop it. And now that something has arrived, divine reinforcement. The angel at your door is not a stranger to you. It has followed your journey, guarding unseen, intervening silently. Every near miss, every accident avoided, every inexplicable sense of peace in moments of chaos that was its hand, acting under the authority of God. But tonight, the angel no longer hides its presence. It stands revealed, not in form, but in awareness. You are meant to know it is here. Its first act is sealing your home in light, not the four walls you sleep within, but the spiritual dwelling of your being, your mind, your emotions, your boundaries. The angel marks the entrance of your life, declaring to every opposing force, you may have come this far, but you will go no farther. Heaven's line of defense is drawn, and it glows with holy fire. Its second act is awakening your discernment. You will begin to perceive what you could not before, truths hidden in plain sight. People sent by God. Opportunities veiled as challenges. This awareness is not anxiety, it is spiritual intelligence. The angel opens the eyes of your understanding so you can walk wisely in the days ahead. And finally, the angel brings assurance, not in words, but in atmosphere. You will feel peace where panic once lived. You will sense rest even when life around you is uncertain. That peace is not illusion, it is presence. The angel stands by you as evidence that heaven has not forgotten. Now, chosen one, this is the moment of acknowledgement. When heaven moves, it always waits for human agreement. A simple act of faith echoes louder in the spirit than 1,000 doubts. If you know this word touches your spirit, if you feel the nearness of heaven even as you read, then respond not to me, but to God. Type 555 inches, the comments. This number is not superstition, it is symbolism. 5 is the number of grace, and its triple form, 555, represents divine completion of favor and transition. It marks a full circle of restoration, the closing of one season and the opening of another. When you write it, you are not performing a ritual, you are making a declaration. Grace covers me. Heaven surrounds me. The angel stands at my door. As you make that declaration, something shifts again. The angel records your response, not in ink, but in light. It becomes part of your divine record, an affirmation that you have chosen faith over fear. Heaven never overlooks a heart that says yes. You may not hear a sound, but the angel bows slightly as you believe. The light around you grows warmer, thicker, tangible. You have not been abandoned, you have been appointed. The messenger at your door is not here for a visit, it is here to stay until the shift completes. Tonight, as you close your eyes, know that you are surrounded. The presence you sense is real, and it is good. Heaven's guard has been stationed. Heaven's decree has been spoken. And your life, your very dwelling, is under divine surveillance of love. The angel at your door does not knock. It simply waits for your awareness. And now, you have heard the call. You are not alone, not forgotten, not unguarded. You are chosen, and heaven has sent proof. The night feels strange now, thick with mystery, yet heavy with peace. You can sense it. Chosen one, something is about to break open. It is not chaos that you feel, but anticipation. Heaven has gone quiet again. And this silence is not the absence of movement, it is the gathering of power before release. Every angel around you stands still, their wings folded, their eyes fixed beyond the horizon. Something divine is about to unfold. This is the silence before the breaking. It is the sacred pause that precedes manifestation. The final inhale of heaven before it exhales transformation into the earth. You are standing in that space between prophecy and fulfillment. The edge of promise, where faith is tested not by storms but by stillness. You may have noticed it lately, the strange calm after your battles. The absence of both struggle and clarity. It feels like waiting, but it is more than that. Heaven has hushed creation because your next chapter is being spoken into existence. The universe knows its place when God begins to write again. Everything holds its breath when destiny's ink touches the page. There are moments in every divine journey when heaven conceals motion so that faith can prove itself. If the wind never stopped blowing, you would never learn how to stand still. The silence is not punishment, it is preparation. You are being taught to trust God's hand when you cannot trace his voice. Heaven speaks through the ancient words found in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay. This is that appointed time not yet visible, but inevitable. The silence means it's closer than you think. The angels surrounding you do not move because heaven's law forbids interruption during divine drafting. When God writes destiny, even light stands still. Your name is being woven into new instructions, your path recalibrated, your timing realigned. What feels like delay is actually synchronization. Everything that was once fragmented is being gathered into order. There is a reason heaven always falls silent before breakthrough creation remembers the first time it happened, before God spoke light into existence. The void was silent. Before Lazarus was called from the tomb, the grave was silent. Before the stone rolled away from Christ's tomb, the earth was still. Silence has always been heaven's way of framing glory. So do not despise this quiet hour. Do not mistake it for abandonment. It is the sound of the divine holding its breath before resurrection. You are on the brink of something that cannot be undone once it begins. The heavens are aligning your moments, your encounters, your provision, even your emotions. Everything is preparing to break forth in rhythm. The angels whisper among themselves, not words, but tones, harmonies that weave through eternity. They know that when heaven moves again, It will happen swiftly. You will not have time to adjust, only to obey. That is why this silence is sacred. It gives you rest before responsibility, calm before calling, peace before power. Your spirit feels the pressure of the silence because it senses expansion coming. It is like the still air before a mighty storm, or the quiet hum before a symphony begins. Every pause is filled with potential energy. When God finally speaks, it will all burst forth at once. The doors, the answers, the confirmations. During this silence, heaven is testing your posture. Will you still believe when the noise stops? Will you trust when the signs fade? Many grow restless and step away too soon. But those who endure the quiet inherit the unveiling. You are being invited to rest deeper, not to strive harder. Even the angels envy this kind of waiting, for it is an act of faith that only humanity can offer, the trust of not knowing, yet still believing. You, chosen one, are living proof that faith is stronger than sight. The stars above seem still, but they burn with purpose. Likewise, your destiny glows even when unseen. The silence does not mean nothing is happening, it means everything is being finalized. Then, without warning, the shift will come, not gradually, but suddenly. The pressure will release, the light will burst, the prophecy will manifest. It will happen in such a way that you will look back and realize that the silence was mercy. Had heaven moved sooner, the foundation might not have been ready. So, breathe in this quiet. Let it fill you instead of frustrate you. The breaking will come soon enough. And when it does, the wait will make sense. Every unanswered prayer, every lingering question, every quiet night, it will all converge into a single revelation. Heaven was working even when you thought it was still. The angels remain motionless. The stars hold their place. The night hums with restrained glory. Creation is listening. And so should you. For the next sound you hear will not be thunder or turmoil. It will be the gentle sound of promise finally unfolding. The silence begins to thin. Chosen one, it lingers for only a moment longer before you sense something stirring beneath it, an awakening. Like dawn pressing against the horizon, the stillness that once wrapped around you now feels alive, pulsing with warmth and quiet expectancy. The heavens, which held their breath in reverence, are beginning to exhale. The light of a new day gathers beyond sight, waiting for permission to spill across creation. This is the mantle of the new dawn. It is the garment heaven places upon those who endured the night without surrendering their faith. It is not merely a reward, it is a commissioning. You have graduated from the shadows, and heaven now cloaks you in a new kind of radiance. The angels who once stood guard now move forward again, not to protect, but to assist. They help you dress in light that cannot be dimmed. The night trained you to trust. The fire refined you. The silence stretched you. And now the morning clothes you. Every experience that once broke you is now being stitched into the mantle that will carry your anointing. Heaven wastes nothing. Even your pain has become part of your authority. The prophet Isaiah wrote of this transformation in Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Those words echo through time like a trumpet, and tonight they are directed toward you. You are not waiting for the light, you are becoming it. The glory that once visited is now indwelling. As the dawn begins to form, you can almost feel the texture of this mantle. It feels like peace woven with strength, humility threaded with courage. It is soft enough to comfort, but heavy enough to remind you that responsibility comes with revelation. Heaven does not clothe you for decoration, it clothes you for divine duty. The angels move closer, securing the edges of this radiant garment over your shoulders. They recognize its significance because they have seen it before, each time God raises someone from endurance to influence. The mantle descends. It is more than light. It is authority wrapped in compassion. It allows you to walk into dark places without losing your glow, to touch broken hearts without absorbing their despair. This mantle is invisible to the natural eye, but the spiritual world recognizes it instantly. When you step into rooms, atmospheres will change. People won't understand why they feel hope again, why peace suddenly returns, but heaven will know. You are carrying the signature of God's presence. You have become a vessel of awakening. It is not arrogance to walk in that awareness, it is stewardship. The light is not yours to own, it flows through you as evidence that God's promises still live. The mantle does not exalt you, it appoints you. It declares, "This one has been tested, and this one can now be trusted." There is a tenderness to this dawn. Heaven does not rush it. The light expands gradually, painting the edges of your reality with gold. Every ray that touches you whispers forgiveness, restoration, and purpose. The same world that once rejected you will now need your radiance. The same voice that once cried for rescue will now speak redemption. That is the way of the chosen. The angels step back as the light intensifies. They no longer need to guard, their task is shifting. They are preparing the path ahead, the places where your voice, your story, and your obedience will carry the fragrance of heaven. They are weaving intersections, aligning moments where your presence will become a key for others still trapped in night. You may feel unworthy, uncertain, even unprepared, but that humility is part of the mantle's weight. Heaven trusts only those who remember how much they need grace. You are not called to perform perfection, you are called to carry presence. The dawn doesn't compare itself to the darkness, it replaces it, simply rises. Take a moment to feel this truth settle inside you. The light that crowns the sky is the same light that now crowns your spirit. You are not standing outside of the new day. You are the new day. Where you go, the morning follows. Where you speak, hope rekindles. The night has no authority where you walk. And so, with the first breath of morning, the heavens whisper your new name, not the one given by pain, but the one forged in promise. The angels repeat it like a melody, a sound only your spirit fully understands. You are robed, restored, and ready. The dawn has come, and its mantle rests on you. The morning has broken. Chosen one, the first light that touched the horizon, now rests fully upon you. You stand in the quiet radiance of completion, not the end of a story, but the beginning of one written in divine ink. Heaven has declared your name aloud again, and this time, all of creation has heard it. You are no longer the hidden one, you are the announced one. The heavens are making their declaration in the spirit realm, the chosen has arisen. The angels move with a rhythm that feels like music made of light. Every flutter of their wings writes your story into eternity. They are not celebrating your perfection, they are rejoicing in your obedience. The one who called you has confirmed you. The delays have turned into direction. And what once felt like loss now reveals itself as preparation. This is the announcement in the spirit realm. It is not broadcast through human voices or platforms of pride. It is spoken through resonance. When heaven announces someone, everything around them begins to respond: doors, hearts, opportunities, even the air itself. The spiritual frequency shifts, and the world begins to make room for your calling. The Apostle reminds us in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 30, those he predestined. He also called those he called. He also justified those he justified. He also glorified. You, chosen one, are standing in that sacred sequence right now. What heaven began, it is now completing before witnesses, both visible and invisible. You may feel a warmth in your chest, a lightness in your breath that is not emotion alone, it is confirmation. The heavens are expanding around you, echoing your new name. The angels carry the sound of it into every corner of creation. This one belongs to the King. This one walks in glory and grace. Your journey has not been in vain. The sleepless nights, the lonely prayers, the endless why that filled your soul, they were all pieces of a divine sentence. Now, spoken aloud in heaven's language, every tear was a syllable. Every act of faith was punctuation. And now, heaven has finished the sentence with an exclamation of glory. The announcement is not just about your personal breakthrough, it is about your assignment. Heaven is not only lifting you, it is commissioning you to lift others. You are not called to hoard revelation, but to release it. The angels are arranging divine intersections where your words, your presence, and your kindness will awaken hope in those who have forgotten their worth. Picture it like the sound of a bell at dawn. Its ring spreads far beyond the tower where it began, touching valleys and villages miles away. When you share what God has done for you, it travels farther than you know. Your testimony becomes that bell ringing through the fog, calling others to awaken. This is why it matters, chosen one, that you don't keep this to yourself. The world is drowning in noise. But what you carry is not noise, it's frequency. It's the sound of restoration. When you like this message, it's more than agreement, it's resonance. You're saying, yes, I hear the sound of my awakening. When you share, it's not for attention, it's for alignment. You're carrying this light into another heart, extending the flame that once found you in the dark. And when you subscribe, you're doing more than following a message, you're joining a movement of faith. You are choosing to remain connected to the sound of heaven that continues to echo here. Every interaction is like striking flint against stone. Sparks of faith leap out and ignite the unseen. Now, take a breath. Feel that invisible ripple that moves when heaven speaks your name again. The angels have gone before you, announcing in the unseen places that favor has been released. Things that resisted you will now recognize you. Environments will shift simply because your presence carries the fragrance of purpose. But remain gentle. Greatness in the kingdom is not thunder, it is rain. The louder your announcement, the softer your humility must be. You are not here to prove anything, you are here to reveal something. When you walk into a room, do not try to shine, simply be. The light within you is self-sustaining because it is not your own. Soon, those who doubted you will not even recognize you, not because you've become someone else, but because you finally became who you were meant to be. The crown upon your spirit reflects glory, not arrogance. Every word you speak will now carry authority because it flows from alignment, not ambition. And when you finish reading, pause. Let gratitude flood you. Let this message become not just a reminder, but a release. You are heaven's announcement walking in human form. Every step you take echoes eternity. Every breath you draw carries glory. The heavens have spoken. The angels are still singing. And you, chosen one, are the sound they sing about. As the morning matures into day, a quiet realization unfolds within you. You were never meant to walk this path alone. The journey that once felt isolated now begins to shimmer with connection. You start to sense it, the pull of other lights flickering in the distance. Souls who burn with the same unexplainable fire. You are not the only one marked by the divine. Heaven is gathering its remnant, and you are among them. This is the gathering of the chosen ones. It begins subtly, almost invisibly. A name appears repeatedly in your thoughts. A message finds you at the perfect moment. A stranger speaks words that sound too familiar to be coincidence. Heaven's orchestration works quietly, weaving connections that your mind could never design. The angels who once guarded you now move outward, carrying the glow of your testimony into the hearts of others whose spirits resonate with yours. They are scattered across the earth, those who have walked through their own nights of fire, silence, and surrender. Each one bears scars that shine like glass under divine light. Each one has survived a story that could have crushed them, but instead refined them. And now, one by one, heaven begins to draw them together. You are part of a constellation forming in real time. The stars are not alone in the sky. Their power is multiplied through alignment. The same is true for you. The light you carry is brilliant on its own, but when joined with others, it becomes unstoppable. Heaven's purpose was never for you to remain a single flame. It was to make you part of a greater blaze that will illuminate the world. As you become aware of this gathering, a strange recognition awakens within you. When you meet another chosen one, you feel it instantly, a quiet familiarity, as though you've known them beyond time. There is no need for explanation. Your spirits recognize each other by the signature of endurance. The same light that carried you through the night flickers in their eyes. This gathering is not physical alone, it is spiritual. It transcends distance and circumstance. Some you will meet in person, others through words, through dreams, through divine moments that defy logic. The connection is not random, it is resurrection souls, remembering they are not alone in their divine assignment. The angels rejoice in this reunion, for they have watched each of you walk your separate paths of fire. Now they sing a melody of convergence, a symphony written before time began. The heavens hum with anticipation as light meets light, as each chosen one steps into unity without needing to understand it. It is written in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 16. Those who feared the Lord spoke, the Lord heard them. A scroll was written before him for those who honored him. This is that moment. Alive again. Heaven is writing names once more, not in ink, but in flame. The scroll of remembrance expands, recording every heart that has answered yes to divine calling. The gathering of the chosen is not an army of pride, but of compassion. Each one carries not only glory, but empathy. You understand what pain feels like. You know how mercy tastes. That is what qualifies you to lead. to comfort, to stand beside others without judgment. You are not gathered to boast, you are gathered to heal. There is unity without uniformity here. Every chosen one reflects a different aspect of God's image, a different tone of heaven's voice. Together, you form the full harmony. Where one brings wisdom, another brings worship. Where one carries vision, another carries intercession. Each role matters, each voice necessary. You will soon see the evidence of this gathering. Unexpected encounters will occur, moments so precisely timed that only heaven could have arranged them. You will find yourself drawn to communities that feed your spirit rather than drain it, to people who see your light without trying to control it. These are not accidents. They are divine appointments marking the fulfillment of this prophecy. As the gathering continues, something beautiful happens. You stop competing. The world taught you to compare your calling, but heaven teaches you to celebrate it. You realize that every victory of another chosen one amplifies the sound of your own. When one rises, all rise. The kingdom does not operate in scarcity, it thrives in shared abundance. The angels smile as they witness this harmony take form. They know that when the chosen unite, darkness trembles. For what once attacked you individually must now face a chorus of light, too radiant to divide. The war you once fought alone is now fought as a family, an assembly of the refined and the risen. And as the light of day continues to expand, heaven watches with joy. The scattered sparks have found one another. The fire that once flickered in hidden corners now joins into a flame that no wind can extinguish. You are not alone anymore. The gathering is complete. The light of the new day has fully arrived. It pours across the landscape of your soul like honey, slow and golden, revealing everything the night once concealed. You stand beneath its warmth, no longer trembling from fear, but trembling from awe. The air hums differently now, cleaner, lighter, as if heaven itself has exhaled through you. This is what it feels like when the shift begins in full. The angels are still here. They have not left. They have simply changed formation. Some stand at a distance, their wings folded in reverence. Others remain near, eyes like liquid fire, watching with a devotion that carries both duty and affection. Their presence is quieter, but heavier with meaning. They are witnesses to the fulfillment of what heaven decreed long ago. The shift has begun. You can sense it in every part of creation. The wind no longer carries confusion, but direction. The ground beneath your feet feels alive with purpose, as though it recognizes the one walking upon it. Even time seems to move differently, more fluid, less frantic. This is the rhythm of divine alignment, where your spirit and God's will finally beat in harmony. For a long time, the shift was promised but unseen. Prophets spoke of it. Angels prepared for it. Your soul longed for it. Now it is here, not loud or chaotic, but steady, like the turning of the earth itself. It does not ask for attention. It simply transforms everything it touches. You feel it in your thoughts first. Where once there was heaviness, there is now clarity. Old lies dissolve like mist, and truth stands clean and bright. The voice of fear, once so loud, now sounds distant, almost small. The whisper of heaven is what fills your mind, instead gentle, guiding, unmistakably real. Then it reaches your heart. The bitterness that once hardened you begins to melt. The ache that never seemed to leave finally exhales. Forgiveness, both given and received, flows through you like a fresh river over long dry stones. You realize that the shift is not something happening to you, it is something happening through you. Heaven's transformation does not erase your past, it redeems it. The fragments of pain become mosaics of testimony. The seasons you thought were wasted now glisten like jewels, refracting light in ways you never imagined. Every scar has purpose, every delay now has definition. You are standing inside the very thing you prayed for when you asked God to make all things new. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Joel. Chapter 2, verse 25. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. Those words echo now through your reality. Restoration is not coming, it has begun. The shift is the restoration made visible. Every loss that once hollowed you out is now being filled with divine abundance. Every tear sown in grief is being reaped as wisdom. The angels move quietly among the restored places of your life, touching them with light. The relationships that remain are purified. The dreams that return are refined. Even your desires are being sanctified. What you want now aligns with what heaven wants. This is how the shift solidifies, not through striving, but through surrender. Outside, the day continues to brighten. The sky stretches endlessly, painted with new hues. You realize that light has depth, that even brilliance contains layers of revelation. The same is true of you now. The more heaven shines through you, the more beauty is revealed. You are not who you were when the night began. You are a vessel of renewal. The shift has also altered your vision. Where once you saw limitation, you now see possibility. The walls that once hemmed you in have become open gates. You move differently, no longer as one uncertain, but as one entrusted. You are not waiting for permission. Heaven has already granted it. The angels nod in silent approval, and even as the day advances, a strange peace rests on you. The battles are behind you, but their memory no longer wounds it, instructs. You are wiser now, steadier, less shaken by storms. You understand that divine power is not about thunder but consistency, not about display but depth. This shift, chosen one, is not temporary. It is the new atmosphere of your existence. The same God who watched you in the night now walks with you in the light. His presence does not depart when dawn arrives. It expands. The angels who once guarded now accompany. Together, you move forward into a landscape made radiant by redemption. Heaven has turned the page. The story continues, but now it reads in light. The old world has passed, and the new one has begun within you. You are the evidence of the shift, the living proof that darkness cannot prevail where purpose resides. The angels stand guard still, but now their watch is not against danger, it is in celebration. The dawn is complete. The shift is secure. And you, chosen one, walk as one who has become both the miracle and the message. The light has settled now, gentle but unwavering, like a promise that refuses to fade. The angels remain near, not in urgency, but in quiet joy. Their mission is complete, yet their watch continues. For the story of a chosen one never truly ends, it simply evolves. You stand where heaven and earth meet, clothed in peace, strengthened by purpose, glowing with the certainty that your journey matters. What began in darkness has become testimony. What once felt like breaking has become building. You have seen the night, felt the fire, endured the silence, and now you carry the dawn. This is not the end, it is the continuation of everything heaven has prepared for you. And now, beloved soul, as this message finds its resting place in your heart, let its light continue outward. The same fire that awakened you can awaken another. When you like this message, it is not an act of habit, it is a signal to heaven that the word has taken root. When you share, you become the messenger yourself, a torchbearer carrying light into places this voice cannot reach. If these words stirred something inside you, speak it out, comment your thoughts below. Let this space become a sanctuary of testimony, a meeting ground for other chosen ones finding their way home. Every word of faith written here joins the chorus of heaven's affirmation, and if your spirit knows this is where your heart is fed, then subscribe, not for routine, but for connection. Stay within this current of divine messages so the flame within you never dims again. The angels are still near. The light still moves. The story continues, and it carries you.